Carmageddon Rogue Shift was announced at the PC Gamer event. Carmageddon has not been around for a really long time. I mean, we had the old one, I think, what was it, like 90s or something like that, if I believe, or early 2000s. And it was a very different game. I mean, there's lots of games like this where you can just get, your car out there and you just drive around and slaughter. To an extent, Twisted Metal. To an extent, GTA, Crazy Taxi, all those things. But Carmageddon was very different in a lot of ways in that it really leaned into doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing. Like, you're actually rewarded for running people down because it would give you more time on certain races. So it was very different. But now it's been gone for forever. And now we have Carmageddon Rogue Shift was just announced. If you've played the original, you're going to fully understand what's going on. Basically, in this world, there's a World War III happens. They fed people a bunch of these kind of meals ready to eat or whatever. And then from that, people started mutating. And so they turned into these zombies. So now the whole world lives in these big mega cities. Everybody lives in these big skyscrapers. At night, they bunker down, or I guess bunker up because they're in skyscrapers. And these zombie creature mutations roam the streets. That is unless you enter into Carmageddon, which is a race for reasons, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you can race through these city streets and destroy, so now you're not running over innocent civilians. Now you are running over zombies. It's a little bit different. But basically, the idea is totally the same. So it is a race, and it's actually really interesting because they say in the campaign mode, it actually is a bit of a rogue light. So what's going to happen is you're going to enter into a campaign or whatever, and they're going to give you a graph, which I guess is a section of the city. It's going to be randomly generated. So all the streets and the routes and everything are going to be different every single time. And you kind of have to plan your route through this section of the city because you need to defeat the boss of the city in order to win that area and then move on to the next one. So you do need to strategically plan your route. It does say that there's going to be like different shops and stuff that are kind of like safe havens where you can also upgrade your car and whatnot. So you have to plan like, okay, if I drive this way, I can drive from here to get to this shop. And then from this shop, I can drive here to get to the next shop and then work my way through the city. So it is a race, but at the same time, you're kind of planning. There's no set route through it. And you're kind of planning, how can I get from point A to point B and be able to reach these safe spaces. If you do die, somebody else takes your place. Of course, you, the character, are this new guy, but basically a new person enters the race. They are going to have 15 upgradable vehicles that you can choose from. They're going to be across forward wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive. There's 13 weapon classes, such as shotguns and railguns and everything in between. 80 plus perks, which you can combine to create synergies on your cars. There's going to be dynamic weather that's going to affect driving. Like if it's foggy, you can't see very far. If it's rainy, it's going to be super slippery. They also have a day-night cycle, so that factors in with these little zombie things because they're going to come out in large numbers at night and be far less frequent during the day. Cars are also going to be having visual damage, so as you go through and you get banged up, your doors are going to fall off, bumpers are going to be dragging, that sort of thing. And it also has elite and boss events. So as I said, you're going to want to take out the boss in a certain part of the city to gain control over that part of the city and move on to the next one. So you're going to have these giant war rig kind of things, like if you've seen Mad Max, Fury Road. They have corrupted enforcers, which are basically police that run around and try to take you down. And you also have these zombie hordes, which you do need to be careful of because in small numbers, you're just going to smash right through them. But in large numbers, they can kind of gunk up your car and slow you down. And they of course, are going to have different kinds of mutations. So you have ones that are more, ranged focused. You're going to have these little weak ones. You're going to have these big monstrous ones. So that's pretty cool. This game is made by 34 Big Things. They are the makers of Redout and Redout 2. If you don't know what that is, it's like a really fast-paced racing game, kind of like F-Zero or Wipeout. So they do have experience in kind of this racing genre, which is really cool. So at least the racing aspects should be good. So this looks very promising. So once again, Carmageddon Rogue Shift, no release date yet. It just got announced, but it is coming to everything: PS5, Xbox X and S, Switch 2, and PC. So no matter where you are, you're going to be able to game on it, except mobile.